and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be showing you how I make my broth, and then with all the veggies that we're gonna use for the broth, we're gonna make croquettes so we don't throw them. So let's get started. So those are the veggies that I'm gonna be using, and then for the croquettes I'm also gonna be using some breadcrumbs and chicken, but you can absolutely do it just with the veggies. I would usually use just one onion, but these ones were super small, so I'm using two. And then with the leeks, I'm gonna be using the ends, so we can use that for soup later. Make sure they're clean. As we're gonna be using them later, I prefer everything to be peeled. With the potatoes, I would usually use just one pick. Again, they were super small. Now we're putting everything in, except for the potatoes. We're gonna add this later on. So we have all the veggies, and we're gonna add boiling water. I'm gonna fill it to the top, and we're gonna add some salt. We're gonna let it boil for at least an hour now. Okay, now we're gonna add the potatoes. You need to at least boil it for 1 hour, but mine was here for 2 hours because I had the time. And now with the potatoes, we're gonna leave it for 20-30 minutes more, and then it's gonna be ready. Now our broth is ready, so I'm gonna put it all in jars. Now I'm starting to get the veggies on the broth, so... Can you help me please? So from here, the only thing that I'm gonna be taking out is the celery. The flavor is too strong and I don't really like it on the croquettes, but you can absolutely use it if you like it. And these veggies need to be as rinsed as possible. And now you can keep some in the fridge, or you can freeze them if you like. So if you want to freeze them, cool them out first and leave a little bit of space on top. They're gonna turn like this one. Now I'm gonna put our veggies. I also have some chicken that I cooked. It's just like fried. And we're gonna blend this. Now the thing with this paste is that we need to leave it on the fridge 2, 3, 4 hours, as much as you can. Or what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna leave it overnight and I'll keep with this recipe tomorrow. With that said, I'm gonna put that on the fridge and see you in a bit. Okay, so this has been on the fridge all night, and now we're gonna see how the consistency is. Mine is pretty liquid, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put a little bit of flour or breadcrumbs, whatever you prefer. I don't have any flour, so I just used oats. Now the traditional way would be to roll them on flour, then egg, and then breadcrumbs. But I tried this the last time that I made them. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put some breadcrumbs, and as this is quite liquid still, I'm just gonna roll them in the breadcrumbs and let them aside. So no egg, no flour, nothing. Also, these breadcrumbs, I made them myself, so they're made with my gluten-free bread, and they taste super good. So now I'm gonna take a little bit and we'll roll them. Can you help me? Take some. You put it a little bit like this, just a little bit. Now you put it here. Breadcrumbs everywhere. You try to make the form. That's it. If you can get someone to help you, it's gonna be much faster. And so after this mess, that's how they look. I didn't have a lot of breadcrumbs ready, so I used some oats, and I'll tell you how this turned out. Now what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna freeze them. If you want, you can eat them like this. You just need to fry them with hot oil. But if you can, it's better to freeze them, and then when you wanna use them, just take them out of the freezer and you can fry them straight away. You don't even need to defrost them. So just with that broth, I have enough for 24 croquettes. So that's gonna be up to 2 meals for us, so that's perfect. Now I'm just gonna leave them in the freezer, and I'm gonna catch up with you when I defrost them to cook them. Okay, your bread is finished. We're back, and I'm gonna cook the croquettes now. Okay, now we need a lot of oil. Quick tip, if you're using a wooden spoon, you need to put it in the oil, and when the bubbles start coming up, it's because the oil is ready. We're cooking them from frozen, so we just want them to defrost on the inside and to get crunchy on the outside. Make sure they are defrosted before you take them out. Now while that is cooking, we're gonna make some miso soup. We're gonna heat up a little bit of broth and then mix the miso paste. I have both, so I'm mixing 1 teaspoon of red miso and 1 of white miso. And then we're gonna mix that with the rest of the broth. Just like this, it already tastes amazing, but now we're gonna also add some tofu, some seaweed, and finally some spring onion on top. That's it for today's video. I hope you try it out and I hope I gave you some ideas on how to do it. Subscribe if you want to see more and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. See you in the next one. Hold. You can go. Be careful with the camera.
Coming through.